build a crematorium because Bendigo didn't have one, and the department saw that as a necessity in our area. So that was an achievement in itself. We had the crematorium up and running in a relatively short time frame after our establishment, or after our being appointed as trustees. So that's part of our celebration today, but perhaps the more significant part and the more personal part is to honour and acknowledge the contribution which is made to the Bendigo Cemeteries Trust by a very special person, and that very special person is Jack Taylor. And I'll come to Jack in just a moment, but just turning back to the crematorium and the 20th anniversary for a moment, I'd like to acknowledge the efforts which our volunteer committee have made. The volunteers have really designed their part of the day themselves. They put to us what they would like to do. They said, look, we would like to just make it a moment for the organisation and for everyone who cares to accept the invitation to come to our open day. So I would like to acknowledge the efforts of Tony Domashins, our trust member who is the chairman of the volunteer committee, to Bev Hanson and the other volunteers. And I'd also like to very much extend an appreciation to our staff members who have come today to work and be a part of the open day. Thank you very much, because your efforts are an integral part of the day, and we do appreciate the fact that you have given up your weekend, or part of your weekend, to be here today to assist with the celebration of the crematorium's 20th birthday, if that's one way to put it. So I would like everybody just to acknowledge the contribution which our staff have made. Thank you. Now turning to the, as I said, the more personal part of the day. Jack Taylor, I think, as everybody knows, is a pretty special person. I think it's fair to say that Jack is one of the very nicest men I've ever had the privilege of meeting. But having said that, nobody's perfect. And Jack has a flaw of character in that he played football for Eagle Hawk. And somebody like me, who was brought up and lived for many years right next door to the Golden Square football ground, and was a blue and gold bulldog through and through, playing for Eagle Hawk is the next best thing to a criminal offence. Jack, I'm more than happy to overlook this minor transgression on your part. But perhaps a little more seriously, a lot of people enter community service and take part in community affairs for a variety of reasons. Some do it as a means of advancing a career, some do it for personal gain, and some do it because they genuinely want to make a contribution to the community in which they live. And certainly, if you look at Jack's record of community involvement and service to the community, that's the motivation that's always driven him. To be a person who can make a contribution, to be a person who can improve things for other people, and to play an active role in making his community better. And when you touch on some of Jack's achievements in public life over the years, and I won't mention them all because we might be here until it rains, because the list is extensive, but Jack was a board member of the former Bendigo and Northern District Base Hospital, which of course is the forerunner to today's Bendigo Health. He was the treasurer of the board for some years. He was a member, or a foundation member, of the Eagle Hawk Community Health Service, and of course he was a councillor of the Borough of Eagle Hawk for many, many years. And that's a pretty impressive record of public service. Now, Jack was nominated by the council to be their representative on the new Bendigo Cemeteries Trust in 1988, and I think it's fair to say that we were very, very fortunate the council chose Jack, because his contribution to our organisation really is second to none. His record of attendance was almost unparalleled in terms of trust meetings and committee meetings. And when you think the trust meets virtually every month, committee meetings are really monthly or more regular. Jack's attendance was always virtually guaranteed. I think the only time that he probably missed consecutive meetings was when he and his wife Ida travelled to the United Kingdom as a result of having won the first prize in a raffle which was held at the Australian Cemeteries and Crematoria Association conference in Adelaide, and Jack won the first prize in the raffle, which was a trip to the United Kingdom. I might say we accepted his apologies for the next couple of meetings with regret. The regret was that we hadn't won the prize ourselves. Anyway, nobody begrudged Jack the first prize. But it's interesting too that I was only thinking over the last few days when I was considering today's event. So often Jack brought a wisdom and clear thinking to our organisation. And there were times when we'd be dealing with a particular issue which we were bogged down in, something which was pretty complex, and more often than not, our decision would finally be determined and the direction we would take would be aligned to Jack's comments and Jack's thoughts. And he made an immense contribution in so many ways to our organisation. I don't think that anybody would ever say that there's a record of public service which exceeds Jack's. Jack, you've made a wonderful contribution to the Bendigo Cemeteries Trust. You've been a friend to us all. You brought apart from your clear thinking, you brought a sense of humour to the organisation, and that's important for any board of management. But you've been a friend to every member of the trust, you've been a friend to the staff members, and we can only say thank you very, very much for your contribution. We did accept your resignation with genuine regret because of the contribution you'd made and the fact that you were such a valuable member of the whole organisation. We looked at a way of acknowledging and honouring Jack's service, and it was finally determined that to name our main driveway here in honour of Jack would be a fitting way of expressing our thanks to you for your contribution. So without any further ado, I think you've heard quite enough from me. It gives me very great pleasure to officially name our main driveway the Jack Taylor Drive. Jack, I think it's fair to say the monument will stand for quite some time. So, thank you everyone, and I'll now hand back.
Would you like to come forward, Jack, and address all your friends?
Mr. Chairman, members of the Cemetery Trust, ladies and gentlemen and staff, it is a great pleasure for me to be here today and acknowledge what the Trust have done for me in making this memorial or plaque available, and I certainly appreciate the Trust for what they've done, and it makes me very honoured and very humble indeed. Over the years, I've been associated with the Trust, as pointed out by Ken, the Chairman. It's been a great pleasure to be able to contribute the way I have. It's been a long time, 48 years, and quite a lot has happened over that period. And the improvements that have been made here, well, we started with the lawn cemetery, then it was the rose garden, and followed by the crematorium, which was made and built. Then followed the walls of the memorial for the cremated remains, and last but not least, our new office building over here on your right. All these have been achieved by very sound thinking and what's been put up by our CEO Bruce McCumber, and then it's worked through by the members of the Trust each year on their budgets, and you can see the fruition of their efforts. The Department of Health, they acknowledge the contribution that the Eaglehawk or the Bendigo Cemetery Trust has made over a period of years. They congratulate the management on the efforts that they've done over the years, and it's ranked as one of the best trusts throughout Victoria. Now that speaks volumes for the management and the trust itself. There's many things that come to my mind that's happened over that period, and as pointed out by our chairman, it's been a great involvement, and what you get out of it, it's the pleasure of seeing things advance, not only at this level, but any level you wish to speak. I give great credit to the administration. You've got to have good administration, no matter whether it's clubs, organisations, cemetery trust, you name it. Without good direction, it's very difficult to find. And here we're very fortunate in having Bruce McCumber as our CEO, and well, naturally, I don't know whether people are aware, but we got Bruce from the Eaglehawk Borough Council. Well, isn't that enough for itself? It's not yet about it. Bruce has been a terrific person, a great friend of mine, and it's very great to be associated with him over all these years. And I'm sure that the Trust has got a great person at the helm, and I can only say that future endeavours by this Trust will be carried out with great discretion, and I think we've got the right person in place. You must realise that not only have we got this cemetery to look after, we've got 4 others in the Bendigo district, and that takes a jolly lot of care and looking after, but it's in very capable hands. Diverting slightly, well, I don't hold grudge against Kent for being a Golden Square supporter. We've got to have someone to play against, if we can hold our own. And you can rest assured that things will go on, and Eaglehawk will always be pretty well up at the top in all fields. I must, at this point, thank the staff for what they've done for me over a period of years, the office staff, the courtesy and the well-being of myself has always been paramount with the staff, and the outdoor staff have always cooperated in every manner you could possibly wish for, and that's brought about by the good control of Glenn Solimaro. Now, I think I've just about said enough. I appreciate very much what the Trust have done today. I thank my family and friends for coming along and witnessing this today, and the organisation that's been put forward by the Trust, I certainly appreciate it, and the afternoon I'll always remember. It's quite an occasion, and thank you very much for your attendance, and thank you to the Trust for the wonderful day. Thank you very much.